Game on the line. Williams lofting one for a deuce. He caught
it! You're listening to the world's #1 football podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Ben Hanson, Matt Hartman, and Ryan Matthews.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pigskin Project. It is week 1. It is here, baby. Let's do this. Matt, how are we doing?
I'm doing great. We have games to talk about. I'm so excited. This is why we do this. This is why we do the off season. This is why we do the previews. To finally get to this moment to where we have football tomorrow, and we had a great weekend of college football as well. Football is in full swing of things, and so is the Pigskin Project.
Ben?
Oh yeah. No, I had a great weekend too. Miss a little chunk of college football. You know, I booked a wedding venue. I thought I'd keep you guys updated, but we're not here for that. We're here for football. All right. It was a great week of college football. Can't wait to dig into it with you guys. And my Birds are playing tomorrow. What is there not to be excited about? Ryan, how was your weekend?
It's good. It's good. It's it's not going to be as awesome as this upcoming weekend is. We have a lot planned this upcoming weekend between the three of us, so I'm really looking forward to that. But my Buckeyes won. That was pretty cool. Just had to rub that in really quick because somebody had that marked on the calendar just to get all worked up, but we'll get to that a little bit. First things first, I have to tell everybody what ruined my week. The Packers traded 2 first-round picks in Kenny Clark for edge rusher Micah Parsons. Gentlemen, I'm going to let you guys talk about this first.
I talked 10 minutes on the TikTok about this. Y'all can speak Micah Parsons.
Then, Ben, you go first, and I'll talk second.
Exactly. Big breakdown of TikTok, but to wrap it up, Jerry Jones, you absolute buffoon. You're a buffoon, Jerry. Only getting 2 first-round picks and Kenny Clark. You didn't even get Rashawn Gary out of it. I know, it's a joke. I didn't think it was going to actually happen. But then alongside that, Micah Parsons goes and signs this massive contract, 4 years, $186 million. That works out to per year, it's $46.5 million. It's structured kind of the way that Howie would do it with your void years, everything put on the back end. 120 guaranteed, makes him the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL. So that was kind of contingent on if they could get a deal
by
done.
$5 million.
Yeah, by $5 million. So it's not even like he's like, I want to be the highest paid non-quarterback. It's I want to be the highest paid non-quarterback by a boatload. And he got it. Fans are like reality hit Packers fans are like, oh my gosh, he's back. Yeah, that's been going on all off season. This is
Yeah. It was a shocker to me. It was, obviously, because I mean, I know we talk about it a little bit, and we did at least last week. We had a hint that it was coming soon. If you guys don't follow that Ricky Scoops, I think?
Ricky Scoops, but he's gone.
What
He's
a
gone.
legend. He's gone, but just off-season legend. He'll be back at some point. I know it. I can sniff it out. I'm telling you. Anyways, but dude was a legend. He posted it like 2 days early that it was done. It was going to be north of $40 million per year. He just needs to sign the contract essentially. And he was right. So I was kind of hoping that he wasn't, but then again, it was just kind of like, dang it, man. Happy for our Packers fan friends. Those are pretty cool.
I mean, if this isn't proof that God is a Packers fan, I don't know what is.
Yeah. I'm here to explain to you guys why this trade isn't as good as it seems for the Packers. I'm going to be using this website from SB Nation as a source here because I don't have this exactly in my notes. So I'm just going to say it in their words. So it puts serious strain on the Packers cap situation, especially given they're already paying Jordan Love a ton of money to be their number one quarterback, Furthermore, the Packers will eat $35 million in dead cap by trading Kenny Clark to Dallas. Given he already signed a $64 million contract extension with them in 2014. And it gets worse when we cast our eyes at the Packers' free agents in 26 and 27. Those are a number of very good players that the Packers will find it difficult to pay after 2025. For example, their Pro Bowl lever guard, Elgton Jenkins, is a serious candidate to be a cap casualty as early as 2026. And then you have other guys like Quay Walker, Devontae Wyatt, Kingsley and Agbury that need to get paid as well. So that's not fun. Kenny Clark was also a huge piece in the Packers' run defense. They're fifth in NFL in rushing yards per game in 2024, allowing only 146.8 yards per game on the ground. Big part of that run defense was Kenny Clark eating double teams in the middle of that Packers defense. So that's pretty massive. Now, obviously, the exterior of that line is going to really improve. That's a given. Micah Parsons is a game changer at that point. But in terms of the interior, it definitely took a little bit of a blow. Kenny Clark is still a good player. It just wasn't the one that we necessarily thought was going to get traded. After speaking with one of the Packers fans that we're friends with and are in a fantasy league with, Quay Walker was the one that I thought was getting moved. And I think you guys were too. I think you guys in the group chat were like, what? That's not Quay Walker. It's okay. That's weird.
I thought it was Gary. It
Or
should have been
Rashawn Gary. I'm sorry. Rashawn Gary. I'm sorry.
I was going to say Quay Walker might have been even worse than Kenny Clark.
My bad. Other player, my bad. So the meaning behind that is because his contract's also coming up. So why would he trade an expiring contract for another expiring contract? It doesn't make too much sense because obviously he doesn't want to pay Micah this money. So why would he do that? And that's why the Packers fan kind of ruled it out. And I'm like, didn't really think about that. Also don't really keep up with Packers contracts because screw that team in general. And then outside of anything else that was said on that article, I just want to say I'm still not sold on Jordan Love. I think that there's at least 10 quarterbacks that I would take over him right now. So given that fact, I could tell you firsthand, if you don't have the quarterback situation figured out, this means nothing. So with that being said, it is what it is. We'll see.
Really,
but
quickly,
yeah.
I do want to push back just a second here. The cap, again, the way it's structured, it's an odd structure, but it's not bad. His cap hit's going to be $9 million this year, $19 million next year, and $26 million after that. Again, it shoots up to 64 and 68 the following 2 years in 28 and 29. But guess what happens in 28 and 29? The new TV deals come out, which means our salary cap is going to start inflating. So yes, are you paying him? Yeah, but you're not feeling the effects of that $46.5 million right now. You're still in a position right now where you can move around the cap and do cap flexes and whatnot and do these void years that they tacked on. They tacked on 2 years for Micah with all these other guys that you had mentioned because they structured it where $64 and $65 million are in the back end of that deal when the new TV deal hits. So I don't think it strains their cap situation as much as fans seem to think it will because they see the 46 and they're like, oh my God, but it's not actually $46 million over the first 3 years. It's smart move by them actually. But I digress.
Who knows? I don't know. Cap room's fake anyway. I mean, we've seen this from every team in the NFL except for the Saints. So sorry, buddy. But anyways, should we move on? I think we should move on from this one, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
everybody's sports.
I'll
I'll
also say they're building the NFC Chiefs, and what I mean by that is if the quarterback is really good, then they're paying the quarterback a lot. If they have a defensive player of the year candidate like Parsons, and they're paying Parsons this, basically it's the Mahomes and Chris Jones. Everybody else becomes expendable over the next half decade. But if the quarterback is good, and we have an all-pro edge rusher, everything else will come together because they draft pretty well outside of the Wyatt and Quay Walker, first round. That's still, they're waiting for one of those guys to pop in a big way, but that's the way I kind of perceive it now from a 1,000-foot view a few days later, is that Their window is they are pushing the chips in the middle of the table this year and next year. No doubt about it. But over the course of the next few years, you are right. They're going to start trickling out Xavier McKinney, Josh Jacobs, maybe Jaden Reed. Like, they are going to start trickling out some guys that it's like, we kind of made the decision on Micah Parsons because it became available, but this is the price of, like, they're not going to pay everybody. So, yeah, I think you are right on that front.
So I'm going to go ahead and kind of speed run through the next couple points just because I don't necessarily think it's too much to really hit on. We have some extensions as well as a signing and then a potential injury. So Cowboys signed defensive back Darren Bland to a 4-year extension. Steelers signed running back Jalen Warren to a 2-year extension. Bills signed wide receiver Gabe Davis. Texans signed quarterback Davis Mills to a 1-year extension, and Buccaneers signed right tackle Luke Godecki to a 4-year extension. And then Jets guard, I believe this happened today. Elijah Vera Tucker has potentially suffered a serious injury and may be out for an extended amount of time. Huge hit to that O-line. It seems like Justin Fields is cursed when it comes to finding somewhat decent O-line. So sorry, buddy. That sucks. Anything there to hit on? I think that one's kind of covered. I mean, just small transactions.
Really quickly. Yeah, man, Elijah Vera Tucker has just been cursed with injuries. His rookie season, he had a toe thing. He had something. I think he had a tore bicep or tricep in 2023. Had another season-ending injury in 2022. Poor dude has just not been able to stay healthy at all. And I feel bad for him because he's a heck of a player when he stays healthy. And then kind of the other thing too, I don't know if this was the end, if we were going to touch on it, but no more 7 hours of commercial-free football, just 7 hours of red zone football. Tis a shame, but this is the world we live in now.
It's disgrace to humanity and fans all around the world. What are we doing, ESPN? You suck. Anyways, the last point that I was going to...
ESPN doesn't have the rights to red zone yet.
Oh, yeah. Well then, my bad, ESPN. You don't
Screw
suck.
the NFL. That's who you got.
NFL. Hey, man. Not cool. I still love you, though. Patriots released safety Jabril Peppers. That one's the last point that I was going to kind of make. He was projected to start on their depth chart, and this was something that, to me, caught my attention because I'm like, whoa, okay, like, who's going to pick him up? I don't think anybody's picked him up yet. Not yet, at least.
I have to imagine it has a lot to do with the ongoing court cases he has. We talked about it briefly a long time ago now at this point. I don't know if there's been any end to it or settlement or anything, but I'd have to imagine. I mean, he's a heck of a player when he plays, but I'd have to imagine that there's probably not a team touching him because of the ongoing court cases and everything going on with him. But it's sad to see him. I mean, Michigan legend. He's the whole reason I'm a Michigan fan to begin with. So,
yeah.
Remember that time he played quarterback?
You remember that time where he played everything on Michigan?
Guys, we're introducing a new segment this week, or at least somewhat new. We're going to be talking about games of the week, and we've got our full rundowns for what we think are the top 4 games of this week. Matt, you want to tell us what those games are?
Yes. So the format of this will always start
get it? But
with Thursday. Okay, dude. We'll start every time with the Thursday Night Football game. Obviously, we are going to talk about Cowboys and the Eagles. Banner night. Nick Sirianni didn't know that, apparently. What was that about? That was funny. Didn't get why he did that. But, yeah, for the Eagles this year, a new season to kind of keep rolling because, Ben, what were they? They were like 11 of 12 in their last, 12 games. The only loss was the Kenny Pickett start. They win every they win the Super Bowl by 20 points. They win from the wild card up. And for Dallas, this is a new chapter. They're opening a legitimate new chapter with what a weird offseason for Dallas. They make this move to trade for George Pickens. They never pay Micah when they have the opportunity to. Now they trade Micah, they get a 30-year-old interior defensive lineman who, like, he has 1 year left guaranteed money, and they can cut him, which I think they're going to do. But just overall, like, this whole narrative of the game, like, I don't know how the Eagles don't run away with this one, except Dak Prescott's on the other side, and he owns Philadelphia. How do you feel?
No, stop it. No, again, I'm all for it. I mean, for anyone who doesn't know what Matt was referring to at the top of this little thing, the Eagles will not be out there for the banner unveiling and the dropping of the banner, which I think is like, I understand why they're doing it because they're like, oh, it's a new season, but like, allow your players to be like, we did that. Let's go do that again. Like, so I get both sides of it. I wish they would have been out there to like see all of the work that they had put in. But to be frank, I'm not super worried. 7.5 is kind of a crazy line for me because these games are usually very, very close.
Flipped. It's flip-flopped.
Yes. But I mean, I would assume that Saquon is just going to run for like 200 yards this game. There's going to just be absolute no threat of any run defense at all with their linebackers and kind of what their defensive line looks like right now. And you open up the run game, well, there goes your pass game. So I'm not super worried. I think the Eagles are going to win this one. Dak Prescott can suck it. But also, like you said, he always plays them tough. We haven't seen what this offense looks like with George Pickens in it and in the new coaching staff and whatnot. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But again, I think the Eagles win this game. I really do. Shocker.
It's really fun to think about, the last, I don't want to say last four. Who was the 2024 kickoff team?
Well, it's got to be the Chiefs. Chiefs-Ravens, right?
It was Chiefs. Yeah, Chiefs-Ravens. Yeah. Okay. So right now you have since 2021, defending champion Buccaneers defeated the Cowboys, defending champion Rams lost to the Bills, defending champion Chiefs lost to the Lions, and then defending champion Chiefs beat the Ravens. So it's like it's a 50-50 split within the past 4 years. We're going to see that broken tomorrow. It's going to be fun.
Yeah,
within the past 4 years, I don't know.
One more thing, the matchup I want to talk about. I want to hit a matchup each game. The Eagles receivers against these corners, because I don't know what this defense is going to look like on the boundary. I know Trayvon Diggs is going to play, but how does he look playing coming off an injury? Deron Bland is definitely not a sticky corner. He is a gambling corner. He makes big splash explosive interceptions and turns them into 6 points. Remember that season he had a few years ago? But overall, I'm just, with how technically sound these receivers are and with how they can just run down the field, I'm just interested to see how these corners match up overall. And can they hang? Can they hang? Because I think there is going to be with how bad the linebackers are, I think there's going to be a real, like, 7 in the box kind of feel. Like, we're going to stop Saquon Barkley. We're going to make Jalen Hurts throw the ball, because they've done that in the past. So I'm excited to see how that works out.
Well, and to piggyback off of that really quick, hold on 1 second, Ben. To piggyback off of that as well, I want to show this to everybody while I ask this question. You bring up the defensive players, just a little bit, right? You're talking about the linebackers, the defensive backs. What is this? My question, I guess, what does this Matt Eberflus defense look like in Dallas after Micah Parsons? Because right now, there's not a lot here that moves me. I don't know if I'm alone here, but I'm going to leave this up. You guys can kind of, throw your opinions at it. But, just my overall question to you guys. And, who knows? It's a question yet to be answered to see if whether or not it can actually answer the call. They just got a massive, massive task ahead of them going into playing the Super Bowl champions. And now literally, a week before, they're supposed to play the defending Super Bowl champions, they get rid of the best player definitely a hit. But what do you guys think? Ben, I'll start with you since I cut you off. I apologize, buddy.
No, you're all good. I mean, I obviously I do like their 2 outside starting cornerbacks, but it makes their job a lot harder.
Oh, they have Kyrie Elam as a
Yes, they
as
do.
an
They
outside
yeah, it's
boundary guy.
crazy.
Oh, never. Oh, gee whiz.
But it makes their job a lot harder when you're just not gonna have a pass rush. Given I don't want to fully rule out Dante Fowler because
Sam
he had a good
Williams,
year,
breakout.
Sam Williams year.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
look
happening.
at the quote that Jerry Jones had about his speeding. That was chuckle. We'll say that. But
Yeah.
you made me chuckle just a little bit. But again, it makes their job a lot harder when you don't have the pressure of a pass rush like a guy Micah Parsons would put on there. And then you also added the fact Landon Dickerson was a full participant in practice. He will be playing this week, which like that could have been like, oh, line up Odigizua over whoever that guard would have been Brett Toth, but Landon Dickerson's back. So it just again. As good as their outside corners are, when you don't have a pass rush, it makes their job very, very hard.
Yeah,
It's
I
my
don't know.
favorite part of their defense, though. I'm just so fascinated by it because I think one of those guys is going to be good. And
Someone has
Williams,
to.
Nealand, and Ezeraku. But all right,
I don't know. That's
should
the
we
first
move on
one.
to the next game?
Yeah.
All right, let's go to. Should we go in order? Should I just
Go
Yeah,
in
we'll go to-
order. Yeah.
We'll go to Sunday Night Football. Obviously, Ravens, Bills. This is basically a pick'em line. These are two of the best teams in football, not just the AFC. These are two of the quarterbacks that battled it out, duked it out for the MVP last year, and it's a divisional rematch. So, for the Ravens, you guys have picked them to win the Super Bowl, and I think that's on par with how this team is built. I think this is the best roster in football, and the Bills aren't that far behind them. Again, we have to start with the quarterbacks. Obviously, I think one of these teams has to start 0-1, which is always this weird part of the NFL season where it's you feel defined by your record, but not you can't dig out of a hole like this if you're one of these two teams. But overall, do you guys have anything you want to head on with this one?
Yeah, this is probably my most anticipated game that isn't including my favorite team. This is, I mean, these two teams, like you said, I mean, the two best, I would argue, two best teams in the AFC, at least for me. People want to throw the Chiefs in there. That's fine. But for me, I think this is a potential AFC championship matchup that we're getting in week 1. And that being said, I mean, who's to say that these two guys don't duke it out for the MVP the second year in a row? So it's going to be exciting. Not to mention Derrick Henry. I mean, getting a new deal this offseason, you obviously want to look at him getting the same exact production as he got last season. Does that continue? James Cook, where does he stand? You know what I mean? He got a new deal as well, I believe. And so, now going into that one, what do they think about his snap count compared to Ray Davis? That's what I'm looking for, because I feel like last season his production kind of dipped following Ray Davis and kind of eating up into that. Is that something that still is a factor? And then not to mention about that Bills offense, I'm still waiting on Keon Coleman to kind of explode out of this offense. And some people are saying that he's kind of due for it this season. So, I mean, you fantasy nerds out there, if you have Keon Coleman on the team, kind of watch out. But I'm really looking forward to that. Ben, what do you think?
Yeah, on the flip side of that, again, we know both of these offenses are going to be great. They're fueled both by top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL, whatever order you want to put them in. But we know these offenses are going to be great. To me, it comes back down to the defense, and we had talked about it in depth in the Ravens breakdown. If you guys haven't watched that, go watch that. But it just comes down to, can Zach Orr pick up where he left off last season? And I really think they can. That's what I think the game's going to come down to. If that Ravens defense is what they were for the last 8 games or whatnot, again, this team is going to be a force to be reckoned with. It is just, again, it's going to be such a fun game.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. You think?
No, my matchup.
Your
let's
matchup.
Yeah.
Brand new segment, guys.
Yeah, we're working out the kinks. All right.
Yeah.
I'm just ready to see the Unks go to battle. All right. DeAndre Hopkins and Trey White are going to be matched up on each other. Like that's going to happen. And I think the Ravens have less expectation on Hopkins than the Bills do Trey White, because looking at the divisional round last year, why the Bills were so successful is because Lamar kind of like he blacked out during that fumble and threw a terrible interception, and that was the game. Like that was literally the game. But they played a ton of man coverage, and they beat the hell out of these Ravens players. And so I'm interested to see, with Trey White being projected as a starter here, he can't do that anymore. He can't play man coverage anymore. So I'm just interested to see how the matchups work out, and if they do throw like Trey White, go cover DeAndre Hopkins just so you don't get in trouble too much. And maybe Hopkins still has something left in him. But I think that's a matchup to exploit for the Ravens offense. But for the most part, like the matchups are hard to find because most of these teams didn't change too much. Like I talked about the Bills defensive line in the offseason. Those guys are all like rotational backups that they kind of drafted. So nothing really changed with these two teams. It's just the new season. That's really it. So
yeah,
we get on to the next one. We go to Lambeau Field. Lions, Packers. This is, again, like one of the games of the week because just we're following up in this division, and we're going to talk about this division again. But just what the Packers have done in the last, week to just make these strides. I am so devilishly high on the Packers, much to Ryan's chagrin. It's just, and then you have the Lions. You have the Lions who they lose both their coordinators, but you could still argue they have the best talent in the NFC. Are they up there with the Eagles? I think they're still on the same tier as the Eagles at least because of just the amount of just players they have everywhere. So I'm excited to see how this works out. Do you gentlemen have anything to add?
I just want to throw this comment up on the screen here from our guy Kyle Gagliardi, Mr. OTM on the Mark Wrestling Podcast. If you guys don't follow them, go ahead and please do. Great content over there with Main Event Sports Network or Wrestling Network. I apologize. And he just got a follow from the guy himself, Mr. Cody Rhodes, Mr. WWE Champion Cody Rhodes. So good week for Mr. OTM, as he says, go. I don't want to finish that, but you guys can read it on the screen. Lions Packers, man, this is great. You said it. The one thing that I'm looking for is how this team can adjust to the adversity of losing not just one, but both coordinators. That defense looked really, really good. You got to hand it to Aaron Glenn. Obviously him going to the Jets makes a massive, massive crater in this defense, at least going forward. You have to have some kind of game plan to change it. And then you look at the offensive side of the ball. This guy, top 5 offensive caller in the league. Just overall, he goes to a division rival. This is a hungry team to kind of prove themselves that they're still who they say that they are. And that's really exciting. Now, the only other thing that I'm looking for is on the other side of the ball for the Packers. Mr. OTM, Kyle Gagliardi coming in here saying, Micah. I remember there was a defensive end that got traded to a certain team in 2018, about a week before the opener, and he played Sunday Night Football, but it was on a snap count. Now, I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what Micah Parsons can do, and whether or not the Packers have him on that snap count. You heard a little bit of something referring to some kind of epidural that he could be taking, with his back injury that he is sustaining. How much does that kind of factor into it? Are they going to be cautious? This is a very, very big divisional game that you're getting in week 1. You need this. You were very close to going 0-6 last season in the division. Starting off 2026 or 2025 to 2026 with a divisional win would be a massive, massive thing for this fan base and this team altogether going into the season. Ben?
No, I mean, you took everything I wanted to say right out of my mouth there. Again, I mean, it's obvious, very obvious thing that everyone's going to be talking about going into this game is just what kind of impact is Micah going to have right away. That's going to be the fun thing to watch. I mean, he's going to be matched up against one of the better offensive lines of the entire NFL, and it's just going to be exciting to see, how he fits into this defense. A week away at that point. So,
yeah.
All right.
Lastly,
you guys are talking about. So we're talking about the favorite for defensive player of the year. Let's talk about the guy on the other side of the ball, Aiden Hutchinson, who broke his leg last year and is coming off of that. Like, how do the Lions deploy him? I'm just so fascinated by that because this was a guy 7.5 sacks in four games and like 3 quarters, something like that. He defined this defense for 5 weeks last year. And again, like coming off a broken leg, you never know with some of this stuff. He says he's ready to go. I remember watching the interview during the Hall of Fame game. That guy was itching. Like he wanted to get on the field so bad. He mentioned Lambeau Field specifically like 3 times. But like that's the guy I'm focused on, especially going up against, there was kind of an open left tackle battle a little bit there in Green Bay. I think it was always going to go to Rasheed Walker, but I know they wanted to give Jordan Morgan a shot at that left tackle spot. So I'm fascinated to see how Aiden Hutchinson is deployed. Let's get into the final.
I just got to say, buddy, I left that one on the table for you to grab, and you ate it up, man. Yeah, Aiden Hutchinson's going to be a lot of fun. But same thing for him compared to Micah Parsons. We'll see how his rehab's going because for whatever reason, he popped up on Bears Twitter like maybe a few months ago, and people are like, call me crazy, but he looks slower. It's like, we're so starved for football content, man. It's week 1. Let's get into the last game.
People are going to start bringing up his short arms from the draft process. Remember that one, Ben?
Yeah.
Lastly, we get into the Monday Night Football game. Vikings at Bears. Big deal. We get Ben Johnson versus Brian Flores once again, and we also get it again this season because they're still in the same division, just like last year. But again, this is, so much new, it feels like, is going on in this game, but at the same time, nothing is really new. We know about Caleb Williams and his I'll say it, lackluster rookie season going up against J.J. McCarthy, who has not played a football game in the NFL. He played one half of a preseason game last year, tore his meniscus, played a drive against the Texans, didn't play again. I have no idea what to expect from this player. And the same thing goes for Caleb Williams because we can all, gawk at the Bills drive that he had. A lot of that stuff was like, see it, throw it. A lot of vanilla Bills defense from what I saw. And it was still some of that like back foot kind of like jitteriness and not letting go of the ball. But again, like once the bullets start flying, like this could be, this is one of the teams, the Bears, that it's like, if they just hit the ground running hard and fast, like watch out the entire division. And that's why it's one of my games of the week.
Ben? Don't make me start here, buddy. Don't make me start here.
He'll talk all day.
All right, I'll start. So here's the thing, man. I'm looking forward to not just Caleb Williams. Obviously, that's my guy. I want him to succeed, right? Let's get outside of that. First things first, you have a problem at left tackle in Chicago, and they just named Braxton Jones their starter. And there's sinking suspicion, at least in my mind, that he's coming back from an injury way too early. He broke his leg in Green Bay, I want to say just the last week of the season. And now he's already back starting week 1. He did not have a great training camp, did not have a great preseason in general. And they're naming him starter. That being said, they don't really have too many different, better options.
They wanted Ozzie to win that job.
They did, but he, I guess, looked better at right tackle, and so they're putting
I
him
think they're just
there.
making him a swing tackle. I think they were
Now
just
here's
like, yeah, can't do it.
here's the
this year.
one thing I want to emphasize on when it comes to Braxton Jones. It's more of there's a lot more interior help than what's noted as far as, it was definitely the talk of the town as far as, as when they made these signings and trades. Joe Tooney's going to be helping Braxton Jones out on that left side of the line, and that has to help. It has to. Joe Tooney did not play any preseason snaps, but he's apparently looked really good in preseason and training camp as advertised. Jonah Jackson's another one that I'm really looking forward to seeing how he does in the Ben Johnson offense, considering how he did not do very well as a Los Angeles Ram. And then Drew Dalman, the center. How is that connection going with his quarterback, Caleb Williams? Is that, kind of connection going pretty well? Is it going to be okay starting off? And then overall, just looking at that interior, how are they handling the pressure? Because this Vikings defense got a lot better, I would argue, over the last year. And so you're saying it's a Brian Flores, defense. I'm excited to see what that looks like. And on the other side of the ball, Dennis Allen, new defensive play caller in Chicago. How does he adapt to that? Is Jalen Johnson playing? Because he's been sitting out of the entire preseason and he's started to practice, I guess, today, but he had a groin injury that was apparently pretty serious, according to him. And it's like, do you keep him out of this one and hope that it's not that much of a factor, even though your defensive back depth is not very great? Do you want Tyreek Stevenson covering a guy like Justin Jefferson? No. So, like, if Jalen Johnson can play, you absolutely want to play him. But I don't want to throw him in too early. And then the last thing that I want to hit on is something that was covered in the press conference today. Ben Johnson ultimately said, we're going to ease Caleb into this offense, and we're going to see over the next couple days, how much this guy can handle. And he's going to prove it to us, and that'll kind of give us a better idea of what we're going into on Monday night. It's going to be a really good one. We're in for a great one on Monday night. And Soldier is going to be packed and loud. And if this team can end this one with some momentum, like you said, man, watch out. Because, we just talked about the Lions and Packers. I'm also kind of going to be scouting that team for Week 2's matchup. You have 2 divisional games to start your season for the Bears. And how do they start this one off? As 1.5-point underdogs. I don't know. Pretty cool, though.
We will see. No, it's going to be a test. You're getting thrown into the fire, this new offense with Ben Johnson. What does Caleb have? Getting tossed to the wolves against this Brian Flores defense. It is just going to be an absolute battle. And again, how is JJ going to play? He has not played football in a year and a half now. Is he going to, find his bearings? He doesn't need to do anything special. He has weapons around him. He just has to get the ball to him. It'll be interesting to see how Caleb is going to adapt to that Ben Johnson offense, especially against a team that's good on defense.
Oh, hey, by the way, Adam Thielen's a Minnesota Viking again. How fast is he learning this playbook? Is it any different than what he's used to in Minnesota?
Or going to ask how fast is he still?
No. How fast is I don't know. But that wide receiver depth is not all that great. And I want to say even Justin Jefferson is maybe playing at, maybe not 100%, but they're kind of ramping him up as well. Maybe it's precautionary, maybe it's not, who knows? But there's question marks for both of these teams, and they have high expectations for each fan bases. This is going to be pretty good. Matt, what's the matchup?
No 2 teams in all of football just renovated. Not renovated. They tore down their trenches, their interior, both offensive and defensive line, like the Bears and Vikings did. Every single interior offensive line spot in this game, both left guards, both centers, both right guards, are brand new for these 2 teams. And oh, by the way, it doesn't stop there. Javon Hargrave and Jonathan Allen go to Minnesota, and Dayo Adingbo and Grady Jarrett go to Chicago. So just a complete overhaul in the offensive and defensive line department. How does that look? How is the initial movement? Because I think, just like we talked about with Caleb, like I'm saying the same exact thing for JJ, where it's like you need to ease him in more so than even Caleb Williams. And how do you do that with hammerhead run game to set up that play action, to set up what Darnold was so prolific at last year and made them, such a dynamic offense. They weren't efficient last year. That was the thing with Minnesota. They weren't super efficient. They were just so damn explosive. And I think JJ can add layers to that, but right away, probably not. So you have to lean on the side of efficiency. And also, just a little wrinkle, I want to see how Kevin O'Connell kind of mixes in QB runs, because I'm pretty sure he did some of that with Dobbs. Remember a few years ago when Dobbs came in early and just kind of mixed it in? I think Kevin O'Connell will want to kind of mix it in, because I think that's one of JJ's strengths that I liked coming out of college that a lot of the other guys in that class outside of probably Jaden didn't have, is that designed run game element. So excited to see this game, man. I love that it's Monday night. I love that it's a solo Monday night, and then we have to do doubleheader Monday nights, like sporadic throughout the year. This one deserves its own night, its own kind of coronation for the Ben Johnson Bears era, and let's see if the Vikings can derail it.
Hey, really quick, a really fun note to mention as we're talking about JJ McCarthy. This is the first time that Kevin O'Connell as a head coach is trotting out a first time. I would consider him a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
The only quarterbacks that Kevin O'Connell have had to deal with were both backups. So I will tilt my cap to him. I will tell you, I mean, as far as NFC North head coaches, I respect anybody that's not wearing the green and gold. And, Kevin O'Connell has done a phenomenal job with reviving the careers of Kirk Cousins, who did a pretty decent job before his tenure in, Minnesota for, Washington. And then looking at Sam Darnold, who had a complete revival and is probably extremely thankful for what Kevin O'Connell did for him, considering that massive size of that contract. So, looking at JJ, is there going to be a little bump in the road, or is this going to be a smooth transition, considering he's seen and, been a part of this offense, at least behind the scenes, for a full year? It's going to be fun. When do we get into
Also,
picks and pick
lastly,
'em?
how have we not this would be bad if we didn't mention, like, Justin Jefferson and Jalen Johnson are going to go at each other. That's also pretty cool.
Hopefully.
I think he's going to be I think he's going to be going. That's also, I just want to mention, like, sometimes when you get these elite on elite matchups, especially wide receiver versus corner, you just sometimes you just watch it. You just watch it a few times. So also remiss to talk about that. But yeah, let's.
You guys ready for the return? The return of Pigskin Pick'em, guys? Come on. I'm the champion from last season, by the way. I believe. Did we tie? Or am I the champion? I don't remember.
No, you're the champion. You won out by winning percentage because Matt.
I know. I just wanted to hear you say it.
Anyways, you're so funny. What a funny guy. All right, who won it the last two previous years, Bucko?
We don't got to talk about that. We're not living in the past. Come on.
Well, that's like the Chiefs trotting out over your Eagles. Like, we won the last two.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I fully am leaning into the Chiefs fan base then. The amount of times I've heard that.
Gentlemen, Cowboys, Eagles. What are we thinking here? Matt? We'll go clockwise here.
Oh, man. Give me Dallas. I'm buying the offense. I want to buy the offense. I want to go against the Eagles anytime I can. So give me Dallas. I predicted it in our season preview. Let me stick with it, even without Micah Parsons.
Ben?
Guys, I wonder who the Eagles fans picking here. Give me the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm rolling with the Eagles too. Chiefs, Chargers. What do you think?
Oh, I got to take the Chiefs. You know me. It's tough with the Chargers with losing Slater and Brazil games. Ugh. By the way, we can't do. They're not going to do those next year. Did you guys hear about this? They're not doing Brazil games because apparently, like, the legislator is that from the second weekend or from the second Friday of September to the second Friday of December or Saturday or something like that, the NFL cannot do games because of high school football, and with the Labor Day falling where it is, it would be the second Friday. So no NFL next Friday in Brazil. Think that's a good thing for all of us. That game last year, if it's an indication of what's coming. Oh God.
Oh God. Chiefs are bouncing back. I mean, I've said it. I think this is, not I mean, bouncing back from a Super Bowl visit, right? But I think this is going to be a revenge tour for them this year. Chiefs are going to win this game.
I have the Chargers here. I think that if Rashee Rice was playing, which he will be, I believe, in the second matchup of this one, we'd have a different conversation. But right now, I don't know. I have a lot of faith in Ladd McConkey. Keenan Allen's coming back. That's got to be good for the locker room and vibes altogether. And I'm a Herbert guy. Oh, by the way, Omarion Hampton.
Big vibe guy over here.
Omarion Hampton,
Big
man.
vibes guy.
Come on. We'll hit on that next segment. We'll
Biggest
get
of
there.
vibes.
Yeah. Giants Commanders. I think we're all in unison here, right?
Are we?
I'm going Commanders. Ben, what do you think?
Yes.
Matt?
I'm taking the Commanders.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Oh, what a cool guy.
Panthers, Jaguars. Yeah. Okay. I screwed up the
Let's
whole
see.
clockwise thing, so yeah, Matt.
Is he a vibe guy? We'll see.
Dude, he's so taken him, Ben. What are you talking about? He's so taken.
Oh,
I'm taking the
God.
Jags. I'm taking the
Yes.
Jags. Travis Hunter, 50-yard
Yes.
bubble screen touchdown. Get ready, guys.
Yeah, I
Here,
am
well,
taking
and
the
that's why
Jaguars.
this game-
Yeah.
Good.
Oh!
This is like, given it's week one and there's, it's a long season, 18 weeks, but like it's gonna be interesting to see the snap count on offense and defense for Travis Hunter. Like that is what I'm most excited about this game more than anything.
Hey, did you guys see that I picked up Bryce Young on waivers following my blockbuster trade this week? Just saying. Vibes guy. Return to the vibes guy. Steelers, Jets. I'm going Steelers. Just to
Give me the
spoil it.
Jets.
Whoa!
I don't like it.
Ew. And why have we not talked about this? Aaron Rodgers. Come on. How am I the last guy to bring this one up? Aaron Rodgers.
We're
playing
done with
against the
this.
Jets.
I'm done with
Revenge
Rodgers.
game.
I've been done with Rodgers.
Haven't we all? But that being
We're
said,
done with
I am riding with Rodgers.
Good for
I
Jets
am-
fans. Going from Rodgers to Fields, like even if it like they both suck, at least you're gonna get excited for some of the things that happen instead of like 5-yard screens from
Dude.
Rodgers down the field.
I want Fields to work out for New York so bad, dude. Can you imagine? Fields does the job that Aaron Rodgers couldn't. That'd be great. Oh, amazing.
And so many before him.
Yeah. The only thing that I would hope in that world is that Caleb Williams is equally as good because the Fields truthers would be disgusting. Raiders, Patriots.
Who'd you pick, Ben? Who'd you pick?
Aaron
Steel City.
Rodgers and the Steelers.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers.
Raiders, Patriots. This one's kind of fun, I think.
I hate this game.
I love
Not
this
from like
game.
a watching perspective, but like picking. I hate picking this game.
Boys, do we hit Sportsbook twice in a row? I'd be down.
No.
I don't have Sunday ticket yet, so that might
I
be a
gotta kick my
problem.
feet up for Sunday ticket, buddy. I'll take the Pats. Give me Drake May. Give me that guy. That guy's fun. I'm complete fade Raiders this season, so I'll fade the Raiders week 1. Mike Vrabel's back.
There you go.
I'm there, yeah.
By the way, we're doing a bit different. I mean, for those who have watched the podcast over the last 3 years, we used to do a little upset alert, but we're just going to kind of mix it in here. And we had to agree that, like, it's going to be worth something. So each of us gets to designate one upset alert. And we do keep track of, like, everyone's records. I vote that, like, if we get our upset alert correct, we get 3 points compared to the 1 point that we would usually get.
No.
Just saying.
no.
Yes.
Overall record. Overall record is the
I
point.
vote
We'll
we
get
do 3 points because then it's not worth anything.
No, we're doing it. No, I say we do a
No,
separate
dude.
category specifically for upset alert points. But overall record needs to be there because I'm awful at math. I've screwed this up before. Let's just
That's
keep
fair.
it with the We'll do
That's
overall
fair.
upset alert thing, and then we'll crown a new
Yeah.
champion this year.
That being said, the Raiders
Overruled.
are the
Gavel.
Overruled. I was wrong. You guys saw it. Here they are. They're bullying me, being a Michigan fan. Bullying me. Life is too
Michigan
good
fan?
for
Oh,
me. on
poor
this side.
guy.
Right. Yeah, that's what to say. Life is too good for me on this side. I can't. I'm Michigan and Eagles fan over here. That's besides the point. This is one of those games that I really think like could go either way. I'm not going to designate this as my upset pick of the week, but I'm going Raiders. I'm going Pete. Pete Carroll. I wish I had a chunk of gum in my mouth so I could just chop it in the mic here. Dante Thornton time, baby.
Cardinals
Truther.
Saints. I'm rocking with the Cards.
Who did you go there?
Me, I'm going with the Patriots. I apologize.
Okay.
I thought I made that clear. Yeah.
Let's go.
Cardinals against the Saints. Matt?
Matt?
Yeah, I'll take the Cardinals.
Yes, I'm taking the Cardinals.
Bengals Browns. Matt?
Oh man, I'm gonna,
Stop it!
I'm going Browns. I'll say it. I'll say it first.
I'm gonna take
I'll take 'em.
I'm gonna take the Bengals. I think Browns get the points plus 5.5. I think that's so tight for me because I think Flacco could just
This is my upset pick of the
like
week.
carve this defense.
You heard it. His upset pick of the week is the Browns over the Bengals. And everyone's like, oh, the
Dude, how
Bengals
many
start
times
out
do the Bengals-
slow.
How many
See, I
times
knew
do
you
they
were going to
always-
say it.
yeah.
I knew you were going to say it.
They always
Dude,
start out
stay-
slow. Joe Flacco took this team to the playoffs. Myles Garrett's fine. You're fine. It's going to be okay. And the running back room I'm looking forward to. Cedric Tillman's going to explode this season. It's going to be fun.
Okay, blah, blah, blah. Do you know who's going to explode this season? Jamar
Wilson.
Chase. All right.
Yeah, but that's a lame pick. Whatever.
It doesn't matter. The Bengals are going to win this game. Joe Burrow finally is fully healthy. Jamar Chase, what more is there to say? It's the Browns. Bengals
Myles
by
Garrett's
a
gonna-
landslide.
He's going to come get you. Just saying.
Yeah,
He's got a
gonna
helmet
whack
in his
me
hand.
upside the head with the helmet.
He's
yeah.
gonna he's gonna put. You remember when he does that Halloween thing with all the quarterbacks? He's go
Ben.
Ben
Um,
from Pigskin Project.
Dolphins, Colts. Gross.
Dolphins. Sprint it in.
Dolphins.
Yeah.
Come on, Daniel Jones. You kidding me?
Yeah,
what
we're-
kind of? How is he a captain? By the way, what is that about? I mean, see Zaire Franklin's reaction. That's
Did
gross.
you know? Because they'll rotate some captains. Some teams rotate captains.
Nah, they're
The
just happy
only
to have a
team-
quarterback that actually wants to play.
The only team that isn't going to have a quarterback captain is the New Orleans Saints this year. I looked this up.
That's awesome.
That's
Buccaneers,
great.
Falcons. This one's a fun one.
Ugh. Give me the
I'm riding
Falcons.
Bucks.
Call it my upset.
Ooh. Ben?
Michael what, Junior? Am I
This is
right?
easy. This is
Am I right?
easy. It's actually not that easy. This game I've gone back and forth on. However, I am gonna pick Baker Mayfield. The flip on this guy. I used to hate this guy, but now he's so much fun to watch. There's just too many weapons. I mean, Michael Penix looks fun. It's gonna be fun to see him operating in an offense that he's had a year to learn now, or a whole offseason to learn now. But Bucks.
Titans, Broncos. Broncos? For me?
I want to lead the Cam Ward hype train so badly, but like this is so Broncos.
Yes, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, what a fire to throw the rookie quarterback into.
Well, it was like that last year. Bo Nix went on the road against Seattle.
Exactly. Oh, Broncos.
49ers, Seahawks.
We have breaking news on the Niners front.
Yeah, there is. Juwan Jennings, $3 million worth of incentives built into his contract this year.
Yeah, so he's gonna play,
Boom.
right?
That's
He
awesome.
has like a
Give me the Seahawks.
yeah. Oh, give me the
Whoa!
Seahawks. Whoa. I'm taking Niners.
Yeah, I'm picking Niners too. I mean, fully healthy Niners. It's gonna be fun to see CMC fully.
Come
healthy.
on, the first 4 weeks of the Niners, they don't lose.
Exactly. Go Niners. Ew.
Lions, Packers. Yeah, Packers can shut.
What? Give me the Packers. Come on.
Packers. Yeah, give me the Packers too.
This is where
Give
we're
me the
just
Packers.
confirming off-season biases. Week 1, that's all this is. So, like, if you've been around, you know. You know.
Texans, Rams.
Who?
Rams. Oh no, I'm taking the. Nah, I'm taking the Rams. Yeah, who am I kidding?
I'm taking Texans.
Yeah. This is my upset pick of the week. Book it.
This was close.
Yeah, I'm taking the Texans here. I am genuinely worried about Matt Stafford and his back and everything. And yeah, we're going Texans.
Ravens, Bills. Can I pick I just hope both teams have fun?
Both teams have fun.
I'm gonna go Ravens here.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Ravens.
Yes,
guys have
I
matched
too
up.
am taking the Ravens.
Oh, we're sweeping. I'm flipping Bills. I don't like.
Lee Corso over here.
Not so fast, my friend. We're flipping. I can't let the Bills go untouched. They're my Super Bowl team.
You gotta do the wave. Vikings, Bears. I don't wanna.
I'll do it.
Yeah, Ryan can go last.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take Vikings.
Yeah, I was gonna say I want to take Vikings just because I want to see Ryan's reaction to that.
It's a good defense, man.
Don't
and
care.
Yeah. This one it doesn't move me. I'm taking the Bears. It was bound to come. I mean, who am I fooling? But
Stunner. Look at this guy.
Wow.
On a
time to
limb.
silence the haters, Caleb. Come on, man. Do me a solid here. All right. So we'll get back to you on our
Us.
record next week. Until then, we have some picks for you. Now, the return of Pigskin Payout. Ladies and gentlemen, please gamble responsibly. Okay. But here's my anytime touchdown parlay pick that I will be doing weekly. I'm not doing anything crazy except for
I have 7 players who could have scored a touchdown.
I don't have
Pick a player
7.
every game. Put $1 on it.
7. Come on, man. I have 6 of them. Jalen Hurts, Marion Hampton, Terry McLaurin, Chase Brown, Bijan Robinson, CMC. All anytime parlays. The parlays plus 3,600. Put 10 on it. Win 360. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah. Jalen Hurts on a tush push. Marion Hampton on a screen pass. Terry McLaurin because it's Terry McLaurin against the Giants. Chase Brown because that offense is going to explode against the Browns. Who am I kidding? Why did I pick the Browns? And then Bijan Robinson because it's Bijan Robinson. He's going to run one in. Don't you worry about it. And CMC because it's CMC. Because CMC sees the CMC.
Oh,
The end zone. Sees
Uh,
the crease. The crease.
For those who are not familiar with this bit, this is a very ongoing bit on this podcast. Matt does not come to the podcast prepared with his pigskin pick'em. He creates and builds this beautiful, beautiful masterpiece as we go. And most of the time, I would hop in as he's doing this, but I have the perfect segue, so I'm gonna go last.
All right. I got it. 4-legger. Let's take some dogs and move some lines. Dolphins from 1.5 to plus 3.5. So they win the game outright or lose by a field goal, you win. Browns plus 8.5. Just because the Bengals will keep it close. This game could be maybe I should have taken the over. I don't know, but I think the Browns are going to be awkward the first 5 weeks because they don't know they are supposed to lose yet. So they're gonna fight hard. And Burrow can't beat the Browns sometimes. Jets plus 6.5. We're riding the Aaron Glenn defense against the Steelers offense. I think it's gonna be muddy. I think it's gonna be 2017. I had the Jets winning. You could easily tell me that the Pittsburgh Steelers win by 3, and I wouldn't bat an eye. But give me that touchdown. And then Give me that touchdown insurance. And then if you survive the early slate of those 3 games, you then get into Houston Texans hold the points. I want the money line plus 130, and that equals out to plus 700 odds. Gives you a fun little sweat in the later window. You turn on a game, you get to kick on some good defenses and some good quarterback play and root for the Houston Texans. So that is my pigskin payout.
We love it. We're gonna do a simple little three-legger here, and again, it's gonna flow right into our very next segment. This is a guy that we had talked about a little bit. Ryan had talked a little bit about having his leg, and not specifically this one, but this specific player. We're gonna take the over on Brock Bowers receiving yards, 64.5. That leg straight up is gonna be minus 114. Right there with you here with the Dolphins, Matt. I'm going to throw their money line in here. They're minus 102. And then the last leg, this is something that us boys had talked about here in the group chat a little bit earlier today. It seems like a trap. It seems like free money. I love it. I'm going to have ASU cover the 6.5 against Mississippi State. That's minus 115. Gives the whole parlay up to 594. It's a little bit of a teaser. And that ASU game we will get to in this next segment. Yeah, here it is, the last segment. College Corner. Yes, gamble responsibly. To be smart.
We're not responsible for your losses, so be smart about it.
Yes, be smart.
Be smart. Don't be me. Be smart.
Exactly. Don't be Ryan. That being said, College Corner, Matt did a great job of kind of breaking down the games. Before we get into our little 5 games to watch, we'll kind of talk a little bit about the happenings around college football in week 1, the little dinner that we had talked about earlier, and we will get to you in a second. Ryan, be patient. That being said, we have to start with Alabama. It is a game that we had talked about. Thomas Castellanos went in and said, "You don't have."
You talked about it. I did not think we needed to talk about this one.
Here we are. But Thomas Castellanos, the entire offseason, was talking his trash, laying it out. And man, did FSU come to play in Alabama dilly-dally. Point blank period. FSU upset them. They made them look stupid. We already know DeBoer was on the hot seat going into the season, and this just makes it 10 times hotter. It's going to be really, really interesting to see how the rest of the season goes for them. But it was a shocker that not many people expected. Again, can Ty Simpson bounce back? Everyone just looked out of place. The fundamentals weren't there. Again, we're used to this program, at least at the bare minimum, being smart, not taking penalties, playing smart football, and you just didn't see that. Yeah, again, you're so far away now. You're another year removed from Nick Saban, and it is really, really showing in this game. But Matt, before we move on to the next game, anything about this FSU Bama game you want to touch on?
Earmuffs, kids. They kicked their ass, dude. Like, seriously. 49 carries for the Florida State offense. 16 by Castellanos alone. 14 passes. 2 of them were explosive, like down the field. One of them was a catch and run to, I believe, Jalen Lucas. Like, just an unbelievable show of effort. I don't know how, I don't know what DeBoer has to do. I was tired of them. I was tired of them cutting to it. Like, that was the face he kept giving. Like, it was just, it was terrible. It was terrible effort. And I get they were missing Timmy Keegan along the interior. He doesn't make that much of a difference. He doesn't change the effort. And I listen, I want DeBoer to be like in a front row seat and Saban come in and talk to everybody. I want Saban to fire this team up because someone has to, and it doesn't seem like it's him. That was just unbelievable lack of effort from a team that they got shit talked the entire time by Castellanos, and then he still just beat their ass, man.
backed it up, man. It was crazy. It
Also great for Norvell. Norvell's interview was awesome.
Yes. DeBoer should, every game check he gets, straight to Michael Penix. All of them. Send them all to Michael Penix.
I just want to say, out of all of my dad's teams, this is Bama's the one that I root against the most, and
As you
this
should.
is the one I hate the most. So like, this one really brings a smile to my face. I was like,
Well,
this is fun. I'm enjoying this.
Speaking of teams that you watch, I mean, it was the marquee matchup of the day, and I'm not going to talk too much about it because we have two guys here that were heavily invested into it. OSU beat Texas in a slugfest of a game. It was a defensive heavy game. The one point I really want to touch on before I let the two of you guys take this away. Yeah, get out of here. Before I let the two of you guys take this one away, is Arch. There's so much conversation about Arch after this game. Oh, I don't think he has it. Oh, he's not there. Is it just the last name? Guys, please calm down. We knew OSU was going to be good. He has to have some time. Again, I think this does solidify what we were all talking about previously, that he was going to come out in 2 years. But give the kid some time. You can't expect him to come out and be amazing. Cool down on the Arch Sucks conversation. That's all I got to say about this. I'll pass it on to the two of you guys here.
Wait a minute. You mean to tell me that OSU isn't the University of Louisiana Monroe? Or at Monroe? Really? You mean to tell me there's a difference in how they play, and if one might be better than the other? Wait a minute. This is the best team he's played against? Wait a minute. No. My narrative is going away. Yeah, guys, chill out, man. Arch is going to be okay. It's going to be fine. Matt, how you feeling, buddy? Are you okay? Did you ice the wounds, man?
It's one of the weirdest box score games I've ever seen. Because
14-7, man.
No, you look at Ohio State. They averaged 2.3 yards per carry on 34 damn attempts. They had one total explosive offensive play, the Carnell Tate touchdown. That
was awesome. What a catch.
That was the only explosive play is a 10-plus yard run or a 20-plus yard catch. That was the only one. Texas got stopped inside the 10-yard line twice against Ohio State. They just can't punch it in. And I think
Once again,
Sark's
inside the 5, just saying. That was crazy.
Sark's plan is just, well, now that we have Arch, we can actually run the ball, and that didn't work. He needs to figure this out. That's a problem. It felt like two coaches who were just let's feel it out with new quarterbacks. Let's play to our defenses. But the biggest winner, Matt Patricia. Shout out, dude. Matt Patricia was awesome. So much disguise stuff, so much back end confusion for Arch. I think he needed. Let's get into the Arch thing. He needs to be more decisive in 1 to 2 to run instead of trying to be this excellent Manning read where he's going 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's just standing around. And then the pass.
It's a new age of college football.
The pass to Wingo was just pathetic. But he had the pass to Endries down the left sideline on the final drive. He had the throw down the right sideline for the touchdown to Parker Livingston. He had an incredible fourth quarter, but his first 3 quarters were so god awful that it ruined the game. It ruined this game. This game needed to be what it was, where it's man, just this punchy in the mouth, 2 of the best defenses in football. I don't know, man. It sucks. I really wanted to win this game. I can't lie. Texas is still going to be a playoff team. It doesn't change anything.
It'll be fine.
But, man, it still sucks to lose it. It does. It does suck to lose it. So.
It does.
Also, yeah, Arch Manning is Bronny nepotism. James Franklin and Steve Sarkisian are the same guy. No, this is the internet.
Yeah,
I mean, Ryan's little plush is just getting me going now. It's crazy.
That's a callback too. It's a
callback.
to day one. I mean, for the day one, week one listeners of the podcast, you guys are very familiar with Brutus the Buckeye, the plushie that Ryan has.
Dude,
It's fantastic.
I've been playing that
it
since the
goes-
clock hit 0, dude. I swear to God, I've been wanting to do that for so long.
Yeah.
Ohio State
it's-
punted 6 times. The difference was literally a 1 yard. The dumbest QB sneak you've ever seen in your life. That was the difference in the football game.
Yes, yeah.
Hey, are we ignoring the
God,
fact,
there's-
like, everybody's talking about Arch, but, like, are we ignoring the fact that Julian Sayin didn't throw, like, Arch was the leading passer in this game. Let's not act like Julian Sayin
Well,
was just amazing.
But that's
like,
the thing; he doesn't have to. Just like JJ did, he's not going to be asked to do anything special. I mean, it goes back to the quote that he said.
just win the game.
He just
Just
has
win the
to.
game.
He just has to put the pedal on the gas. Just drive the guide the Ferrari. Just make
Yeah.
sure where it goes. You don't have to do much with all the talent you had. Given Jeremiah Smith opened that game bad. I mean, 2 drops, but it was fine. Ended up not actually mattering. But kind of going over to an SEC team that also had a new quarterback, Tennessee. They look just fine with Joey Aguilar. And Joey Aguilar looked better than the former Tennessee quarterback, and Nico. Nico looked awful. But we're not here to talk about that. Again, Joey Aguilar looks great. The Tennessee offense is great, given it's against a lower level ACC team. But that's exactly what you would have hoped. You didn't know what you were going to get from this team with all of that weird quarterback, situation that had happened. But I mean, you leave this game very content with how he played. I mean, 247 yards, 3 touchdowns. Congratulations, you looked good. But really, anything else to say on that one, Matt?
No, I just going from Nico Iamaleava and just the 5-star, the pajama pants at Elite 11, and this awful, off the field NIL saga to Joey Aguilar, who was playing D3 2 years ago, comes from App State, has never played in a game this big. That's got to be awesome for Tennessee to just root for. You know what I'm saying? You're now rooting for that scrappy underdog, kind of like Hooker, where Hendon Hooker was kind of a reject at Virginia Tech, and you welcome him with open arms, and he beats out Joe Milton, and it's all great and wonderful. I'm excited for Tennessee. Heupel could throw me out there. I said that during the game. Heupel could throw me out there, and I'll figure it out.
Yeah. And speaking of quarterback play, man, my Lord, did these freshman quarterbacks look good? Bryce Underwood, given that it was against the Lobos
He
in New
ran
Mexico.
so they didn't run him at all, dude. I was
At
so,
all. It was weird. It was
Yeah.
weird.
I think it's
I
'cause
just think
of
they
the
just wanted to
Lobos.
save it. Yeah. But, I mean, Bryce Underwood looked good. He was composed in the 2-minute drill down the stretch. CJ Carr, yes, Notre Dame lost the game. It was a good shout out to the both of you guys there.
I have a question for you on that front.
Yes.
Of the 3 big games, Texas, Ohio State, Clemson, LSU, Notre Dame, Miami, I think CJ Carr was the best quarterback out of every game. I
Yes.
loved what he
absolutely. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. Again, as you said, CJ Carr looked fantastic. And then there's this 3-star from Maryland that no one had ever heard of before this game, in Malik Washington.
Yep.
And my Lord, did Maryland find their starting quarterback? Really, the only question here is Malik Washington going to stay at Maryland after this year? I mean, that is how
Yeah.
good this kid looked.
Yeah, I'll say this. There's been a lot of read about a different freshman quarterback with that same well, I wonder who he's playing next year. I want to see
We'll get
11
there.
more games.
We'll get there.
But for him specifically, it's more palatable because Loxley's fighting for his job there. They need I don't think he's on a big enough leash. They need to win games, and they have a ton of young players. So yeah, I'm interested in seeing where he goes from. That he was someone who I knew the name, didn't realize the player. His name is Malachi Toney in the Miami game.
Yeah, Malachi, that was something too. And off script here for a second, man, did those Miami edges close the door
Which
on
is
CJ
awesome
Carr?
because
Bane
they
is-
could not do
oh,
that last year.
No. it was so much fun. And
Michael
then the
Irvin
last
killed
one,
it.
the guy that you had touched on, and we'll get to him, kind of the quarterback that everyone of all the freshman quarterbacks, one that everyone have left away talking about the most. Jaron, not going to try to pronounce.
Sagapuatelli is the last one.
There you go. Sagapuatelli. I'm just for here on out for the rest of time, he will just be called JKS. And for all the drama that he had brought with his decommitment from Oregon and everything that had happened there, again, if you're not familiar with it, go and find it. There's a lot of stuff that had happened during the course of it. He was practicing with Oregon during the college football playoffs, and regardless, man, did he look the best. He had some absolutely just frozen ropes of throws. It was impressive for him to come out slinging the way he did. And again, as you said, there'll be conversations over the course of the season. Where is this guy going to go? You have to see the rest of the 11 games from him. But if the season looks like this for him, he's going to be a treat to watch. And he looked good on the ground. I mean, he only had 2 carries for 30 yards, but he got the job done where he needed to while throwing for 234 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and a 66.7 completion rating. Again, of all the quarterbacks that we had talked about, of the freshmen that looked great, JKS looked the best. It was such a treat. And anything on that?
Yeah, I mean, he had the best, I referenced it on the show, big time throw rate from PFF. I really like that statistic because it highlights tight window throws, NFL caliber throws. It's a little, watered down compared to the NFL, a little bit, from what I know. He led the entire country in the entire, the rate. So, he had a 16% rate. Guess who was number 2? Arch Manning, by the way. And a lot of people were really upset about that and said, that's fake. But yeah, he had a 16.7 rate. He was incredible, man. And he just launched the football. He just had so much fun slinging the ball around the yard. I'm entertained with what Cal can be. Going into this year, I thought it was just once they lost that entire running back room and they just had to, replenish just depth, just players, and they got him out of the portal in the spring, I believe. Or no, he was the winter. Because we talked about him on this podcast.
We did.
Because he was committed at Oregon, practiced with Oregon during the Rose Bowl practices, then just left Oregon because he knew he would start at Cal. And, yeah, he was truly phenomenal, and Pac-12 After Dark lives again.
Beauty. And then I do got one more point, but now that we're speaking about Cal, Ryan, I'm sorry, I'm going to put you a little bit on blast here. It did make me chuckle. Me and Ryan were playing college football yesterday, a little college football 26. Auburn versus Oklahoma spanked him. That's besides the point. Ryan was running the football, and he's like, wow, this OU running back is a lot of fun. And I'm like, yeah, Jade Knott? And he's like, I have no clue who he is. Again, I don't want to dig on
No.
You're
I like this because hold on a minute. I'm a casual fan. I'm not afraid to admit that, but that's exactly what this game is for. Not only just people like you guys that are heavily into college football and know a lot about it, but also, I'm just saying, you also have guys like me that want to get into it and know the teams a little bit more. So you have kids that are getting into it as well, that are playing the game and doing exactly what I'm doing. This guy's fast. Quinshad Judkins has a good spin move. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. That's what gets people into it. That's what gets people loving the game a little bit more. And for that reason, I don't care if you throw me under the bus, dude, whatever. More people have that same reaction, man. It's awesome.
Yes. Exactly. Again, I thought it was fun. We were talking about Cal as a perfect segue. And then the last point here for the review before I let Matt take it away. Man, Chapel Bill. That was awful. We opened up the game. Gio Lopez looked great on that first drive, and we're like, okay, we're in for a real good game here. And outside of that first drive, it was horrendous. he just looked out of his depth again. It's his first game. You did not know what to expect out of Bill Belichick in Chapel Hill and everything, but it was. I mean, if that's how the season's going to go, I wouldn't be shocked if Bill Belichick leaves after his first year. I mean, that is how awful of a game that was against TCU. It got to the point where I turned that game off because I'm just like, yep, this game's over. There's nothing more for me to see here. But again, it was a big disappointment because everyone was hyping it up and it just flamed out so very quickly. But Ryan, did you watch that game? You watched Chapel Bill at all?
I fell asleep, dude.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. That's the reaction. I mean, what more was there to do? I mean, you're better off sleeping in that game than you are actually watching it. But
listen, for the most part, outside of Caleb Williams, Jesus Christ. Yeah, outside of him, dude, I'm so excited. No, I've been saving my college football excitement for the most part outside of Ohio State for this upcoming weekend. Like, just behind the scenes, peel back the curtain a little bit, guys. Like, this is one of the few times that the three of us are able to get together in person, and this is really cool. So, I mean, I don't know, it's something that I appreciate year round, you know what I mean, when we have the opportunity to watch some games together. And even though, I mean, I'm sure we're about to get into the slate, it's not as great as week one is, but I mean, or was, I guess, but it's still going to be a bunch of fun because there's still stuff that we need to be watching for, and that's what we're about to dive into.
Exactly. But
did you hit on LSU Clemson?
No,
what?
No, LSU Clemson does exist. We'll get into that one, but Matt. Yeah. Chapel Bill, and then we'll end it with LSU Clemson.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest jarring thing was like the tackling effort. Like that was the biggest problem to me, because I think that was something you could hold your hat on, is that 70 new players all have buy-in, and it didn't look like it. Yeah, Gio saw ghosts immediately. I mean, he's a South Alabama transfer. I think Herb Street said that like 30 times, man. But just overall, like, this is a step up in competition. The furry over on TCU sideline is very good. Like, Hoover is one of the few Big 12 quarterbacks that is like actually good. I think a lot of people mistake Big 12 quarterbacks with like, oh, I know their name, so they're good. It is a good quarterback conference, but like, Hoover is one of those dudes, man. And he was last year, and there's a reason why Tennessee like tried to get him. It wasn't like he turned down money to stay at TCU over Tennessee, which is crazy in hindsight, but that happened, and their belief in him. But he was pretty awesome. But I'm going to swing right into LSU Clemson if I can.
Really? Hold on. We'll end. Okay. We'll cap with LSU Clemson. Just okay. Speaking of the Big 12, I don't know how many people were watching the game because it wasn't slated to be a good game. But man, did North Dakota give K-State a run for their money. I mean, that game came down to the wire. I mean, K-State
the Dublin hangover.
Exactly. K-State had to walk that game off in the final 2 minutes. Again, the final score of that game was 38-35. K-State did end up winning. But, I mean, we were going to witness like a level of Marshall and Notre Dame from a couple years ago with how bad that was going to be. Again, K-State ended up winning, but it was a battle that no one had expected. And then, yeah, I'll let you talk about LSU and Clemson, because how could we not?
Oh, my God, the LSU defense.
Whew.
If that defense is that good for 12 games, I throw my hands up. I don't know nothing, because that was the best team in the country to me. Like, that's what was so crazy about it. They had a touchdown called back, which, I mean, we talk about how someone made an excellent point with, like, you remember Drew Brees' sneak, where he'd jump and he'd reach the ball and pull it back because of the front line is the touchdown, and anything past that doesn't matter. Like, why, once that receiver passes that front white line, why are we caring about the ground? Why are we caring about securing the he secured it in in progression, like in space, and fell, and it kind of wobbled a little bit. I thought that was crazy, but just overall, the defense just being able to like. I have my questions about Cade as like an NFL quarterback because I think he's small and not traitsy. That does not bode well for the NFL. But he's a good college quarterback because he makes good decisions. He had nothing, and I get Antonio Williams left with a hamstring injury, who's going to be a drafted player. But man, I mean, I shouted him out of this podcast, Mansour Delane. You better know that name now. After last week, because he was phenomenal, and even Harold Perkins being able to be the guy to seal the deal as the star, like they can run and they can run and they can run, and shout out Blake Baker for that.
Yes, it was. I went in this game talking about the Clemson defense, saying, "Oh, like how are we gonna do?" Left the game talking about that LSU defense. It was, oh my goodness. Again, it was an absolute treat. It was, again, another one of those games that was a defensive stalwart, and it was just a matter of who can make the plays when it mattered the most. It did pick up there at the end, but LSU, they won, and they won their season opener for the first time in 4 year, 5 years, something like that. First time
since the 2019 season, yes.
Yeah, in the Brian Kelly era, it's, again, I go back 2 weeks ago, talked about LSU, fantastic. And then actually one more time before we get last thing, because this is something I was passionate about, and neither of you responded to it when it happened in real time. I was livid. Of course, I'm going to be the livid one, being the Michigan fan here in the group. But my Lord, the targeting calls need to leave this sport. I understand the essence of what it is supposed to do for the game. But when you throw out players for hitting a quarterback hard, you might as well just make it flag football. Because that was the most egregious thing I'd seen in all of week one, considering all the slate of games we just talked about. And then for the spineless NCAA officials to then uphold the call and say, oh, this is good, even after the backing of the Big Ten, is absolutely ridiculous. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, give me 1 second here, because again, if you cannot tell, I am very passionate about this subject, because it is ridiculous.
Did you
Somehow this was called targeting. For those who don't know, the essence of the rule is when the player lunges and targets the head of the quarterback, hence the name of the call, with the crown of his helmet. Where's the crown of the helmet for Jay-Sean Barham here? All the way up here. Didn't even hit the quarterback. He wrapped him up. And we're going to toss him out of the game? A game that we're going to talk about in this segment coming up against OSU? Because the quarterback was in his throwing motions that makes him defenseless? What are we talking about?
Hey, let me just say,
is gone.
I can't really talk about football rules anymore, okay? So, like, I was looking it up. I think it's done, dude. I don't think I can even do research on a rule anymore. I think I'm barred from that.
And I needed that. Thank you. That calmed me down a little bit. But, like, it is
You're not
a
done
joke. that is what, like, we're going to call for targeting here. Again, that was not the essence of the rule getting implemented, and for that to be called targeting is just ridiculous. Again, we're getting away from these hard hits because we're protecting the quarterbacks, which, fine, they're important to the game. But if we're not going to allow someone to hit a quarterback hard, what is the point of it even being considered tackle football at this point? But I digress. Again, I needed to get that one off of my chest. I almost forgot. I'm very happy I didn't. But
hit another thing. I'm just kidding.
But we'll get into next week's slate of games. And if I didn't just tee that up perfectly for you, Matt, if I didn't just tee up next week's slate of games by talking about how Barham's going to be missing the first half of the OU game, I'm failing as a co-host. But take it away.
Let's talk about my game, Illinois Duke. No, I'm just kidding. That was incredible. I saw Joel Klatt call them spineless today. So
Yes!
doing that, it
Yes!
made me lose it. That was pretty funny. But yeah, let's stop farting around. Let's get into Michigan, Oklahoma. In Norman, 5.5 for Oklahoma. They opened as like a 2.5 point favorite with the recent, targeting and all, and Mateer looked pretty good. Their run game still was pretty bad.
It was fire.
Yeah, I mean, this is the game of the week. This is pretty fun. When last we watched a game together, Ben, Michigan was playing Texas, so now we get to be on. We get to be on the same side this time.
Yay!
But dare I say, week 2, this is a must-win for Oklahoma. This is a must-win for Brent Venables, because if he loses this game to the shorthanded Michigan on the spineless targeting call, and Bryce Underwood, who 5-star, but is a true freshman, making his first road start in his career, and they lose with Mateer and the defense, this could spiral out of control for Oklahoma very, very fast, because you look upcoming on their schedule, they're playing one of the toughest SEC schedules. If they can't get this one against Michigan in a season where, Ben, would you agree with me? Michigan's playing for 4th in the Big Ten this year.
Yes,
like this is kind of a let's feel it out. Let's get Bryce some reps. We're going to serve the Sharon Moore suspension and move on. In 2026, we'll hit the ground running again. Like, if you can't beat that team, I just imagine like 28-17 Michigan wins and Venables has to walk off the field with like the state troopers. Gee whiz. Someone in Oklahoma is going to pelt him with a Coors Light can. Like they take it. I mean, it is super serious in Norman, and I think that's a place that's already out on them. So, Ben, you're a Michigan fan. Talk about this game for me.
Yeah, for me, again, it so much of it does just come down to that run game that you had mentioned. I mean, Justice Haynes, the transfer running back from Alabama who came to Michigan, had an outstanding game. Again, it was against New Mexico and the Lobos. I understand that. But as is most Michigan games, it does just come down to who can control the time of possession, who can run the football. Can Oklahoma stop Michigan from doing it and force that young quarterback to make throws? And then again, on the flip side of that, can we get the run game? Can we get Jaden Ott? Can we get all these guys going? And I think if they can, then, Oklahoma's going to win this game. And then again, I'd be remiss to not talk about how good John Mateer looked last week. He was absolutely slinging the rock, much to Matt's chagrin, because I know how Matt feels about the hype with John Mateer.
John Mateer hater.
Yeah, certified
Beast
John
Mountain
Mateer.
West.
Who hates their quarterback more, Ryan and Jordan Love or Matt and John Mateer? But again, yes.
Dude, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think it's close, bro. I don't care.
But again, it's.
I genuinely think the guy's bad. By the way, like I'm just saying.
What did I do?
We're off the rails, folks.
Off the rails.
Yeah. We're an hour and a half in. We're in the danger zone. You guys signed up for this. All 35.
Yeah, we really are. But again, it comes back to the run game. It comes back to the defense. Again, as I said, as much as Michigan games always do. And again, it's going to be a big win for either team. I mean, if Michigan can get this win, then again, you're going to have serious conversation about them making the college football playoffs. I understand it's week 2, but for them to pick up a top 25 win, then as you said with Oklahoma, man, this almost seems like a must-win game. It's crazy to say that in week 2, but I mean, just as we saw fans reacting to the way that Alabama lost against FSU, you might very, very quickly see OU fans react that same way against Venables. But yeah.
All right, we got to make a pick. Who are you picking? I'm taking Oklahoma.
This hurts me too, but I am picking Oklahoma. As good as
Big fan.
Fake fan. As good as Bryce Young looked. I mean, it is a big ask for him to go in there and win this game in his second start ever. And again, John Mateer did look very, very good. Again, as I talked about very angrily, we're missing one of our key defensive players as well. I do think Oklahoma comes away with this.
I am not only rooting for Oklahoma I'm picking Oklahoma as well. Yeah. That's that. Yeah. Screw your team, Ben. I'm sorry, but I'm not.
Says the OSU fan.
Don't say you're sorry.
Oh, what's that? What's
You're
that?
not sorry.
What's that?
Let's move
Take
on.
the-
Let's move
Ohio,
on.
Oklahoma spread?
No.
Is that what I'm
Hey,
hearing?
hey.
Take it?
Try beating this. All right.
Can you
Anyways.
imagine my hand?
What
was in
happens
there?
when we do? What do you have? What do you have?
So, the
All right.
most wins in college football history. Anyways.
Let's travel to Ames, Iowa, for the Cyhawk.
Cyhawk.
Iowa
This
State.
game happened last time, by the way. Last year,
Iowa.
I believe.
Yep,
Yes,
it always
happens
happens.
Same
week two.
time. Yeah.
Yep.
I do
Yep.
plan on being at the sports book, just to peel the curtain back. Being at the sports book for like the entire day, like including that Michigan and Oklahoma game. Like this is an all day kind of thing. I hope you
Well,
guys,
as you should.
yeah. Save your dollars for the casino when you get bored.
All right, so Iowa. What the
Don't
hell,
do that.
Mark Gronowski? What was that about, dude? 44 passing yards against Albany. Guess what? He had 300 against them last year with South Dakota State. Don't know what
Iowa,
that was
baby.
about.
Iowa
He
football.
He left the game. Yeah, it's just like they put on the color. He puts on the colors. And it's just, all right, I now suck at quarterback. Like, it's just crazy. He left with cramps multiple times. I'm high on Iowa. I still am. But Iowa State, man. How about could this have gone better the first 2 weeks for Iowa State? They get a game against Kansas State, who's one of the top 4 favorites in the Big 12 in Dublin. Then they travel back in a major upset spot that everyone kind of like wants to be the smart guy about, is like, South Dakota's a good FCS school. Watch out, Iowa State. Matt Campbell, he always rides these games kind of slow. They beat the doors off of them. And now they get to go into the Cyhawk with an opportunity to be 3-0 with now an out-of-conference Power 5 or Power 4 win. So I'm really interested to see how, this game is just going to be ugly. It's going to be muddy, as it always is. Rocco has been really, really good. He's one of those quarterbacks that I talk about with the Big 12 that it's like, I think he is good. Maybe not before, like, I think seeing that Kansas State game, just the poise that he had kind of, gave me a new light. And just watching him next to Avery Johnson play football, I was like, oh, yeah, man. Like, he's way better. He's way better at throwing the football. But I got to ride with my guys. I got to ride with Iowa. We're coming into Ames and we're getting a W. I'm a Texas Longhorns fan, but I'm speaking like we because I have so much at stake with Gronowski. If he is bad, Iowa's never going to get anybody good. They're never going to have anybody good ever again at quarterback.
No, they will not. On the flip side of that, I mean, I'm riding with Rocco Beck, man. He has looked good over the last
Completely
2
fair.
weeks. I mean, this game was so much fun when we all watched it last year. It went, again, that was a nail biter. It went to, a
Yeah, what
walk-off
was it?
field goal.
Yeah, Kyle Canardi is still there at Iowa State. He made a 63-yarder. He made a 55-yarder when we were watching it. That was the same day as the NIU upset, so yeah.
Yeah. Again, but this is just going to be so much fun. Again, as you said, it is always a battle between these two teams. They absolutely hate each other. But again, I'm just going to ride with who has looked better at quarterback to much of Matt's chagrin. That has been Rocco Beck, and I'm going to ride with him in the, Iowa State Cyclones. Almost went to school there, by the way. But that's besides the point. Ryan?
Yeah, I'm going Iowa State. I mean, I like them a lot, and I always
I like
hate
the
to
funny
watch.
next to their name.
Fading Iowa.
Good.
Fading Iowa. Okay.
I just don't. I don't know.
Brush it off.
Iowa's not very fun to watch, like ever.
Don't have
Ever.
gonna
Caleb
be.
They don't
Gronkowski's
have
gonna get it.
Caleb Johnson this year, given Xavier Williams did look very fun, 122 yards on 11 carries, but they
Yeah,
don't have Caleb
Molten was
Johnson
supposed
this
to be
year.
the main bell guy. I think he got hurt, but
Yeah.
All right, we move on to. Dare I say my game of the week? Can I say that? I know game day is not going there, but
Say it.
Illinois Duke. That's my game of the week. That's the smart guys' game of the week. Illinois has a lot to prove here. Illinois really gets like pummeled with tests in the first half of the season. Like Duke won 9 games last year. They go to Bloomington, I'm pretty sure, at the end of the month. They have USC at home, who just pummeled Missouri State, by the way, by like 60 points. I bet Missouri State, so that was tough. But again, this is another like Oklahoma spot where I get they're the 11th team in the country, but it's kind of, you need these wins, man. You need these like big conference wins out of conference, especially like early in the season to just keep that ranking solidified, because you just watched Alabama fall 13 spots. I know it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, you know, because the AP voters don't decide the college football playoff, but Illinois is everybody's sleeper upset team to make the playoffs, and it's because schedule related. This is a game that could derail their whole season. Manny Diaz is a great thing going at Duke. They upgraded at quarterback. Oh, by the way, they won 9 games last year. They got pummeled in their bowl game against Ole Miss because Jackson Dart still played in that game. And what was it? They could have won 10 games. I remember watching the 2-point conversion off against SMU. So, like, Duke ain't bad. Duke is, like, going through a transition kind of year, much like I mentioned with Michigan. But I think they got the better quarterback in the end of the bargain, so I think they want to win, but I'm going to take Duke. I don't know why, but I just am. I'm going to take Mensa.
Okay, I was going to take Duke there too, and again, so much of it just comes back to Darian Mensa. Again, he was a treat to watch last year in Tulane. It looked fine, again, given it was against, as I'm going to say 10,000 times, against very bad competition, but I love Darian Mensa and kind of the grit and grind that he has. And I like Illinois.
Yeah.
But, man, people are drinking the Kool-Aid on them, and I think they need to pump the brakes just a little
Pump
bit.
the brakes, folks.
That's why I'm going Duke. Darian Mensa. I wanted to claim that you hated Darian Mensa when you picked Illinois, but you didn't. So, but Darian Mensa, leader of that fan club there.
Okay, we'll stop coming to you. Okay.
We'll stop going.
I don't know, like Duke, I guess. I'm going Duke for the shocker.
You go into the group chat, you
know.
flex your Miami win, and now you're like, I don't know, I don't want to pick. Get out of here, dude.
Dude, I
Get
just
outta here.
don't know, man. I don't like.
Don't worry,
I'm
guys.
as
I'll fix
casual as
it.
it
I'm
gets.
gonna fix it. Don't you worry.
Oh.
Oh, just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah,
That was
you get to
silly,
moan.
Chad. That was
Tell
silly.
us. Yeah,
Let's
Duke,
move
I don't know.
on.
You want me to just go underdogs? I go underdogs.
We all took Duke. All right. That's bad. Let's go to the next game. I got 2 more for you. Kind of like sleeper games. We don't have to spend too much time on them. I bet you're not even thinking about these, Ben. Kansas, Mizzou.
I have that.
yes.
Clown. Just kidding. Sorry.
The border war. These teams don't play every year, so it just adds another element to this, you know, this whole wrinkle of a rivalry they have. Mizzou was like really good in week 1. Kansas also is 2-0, I believe. So again, this is one of those fascinating games where it's those out of conference Power 4 programs with some of, you know, the wrinkle of rivalry stuff. But Mizzou, this is a team that, watch out. I'll just say that. I think Bo Pribula and Ahmed Hardy, and with this endless cycle of good offensive line talent that they are producing there. They won 10 games a few years ago, and Burden was awesome that season. But, like, Cody Schrader, I'm pretty sure won the Doak, or, like, was a finalist for the Doak. And he was undrafted and didn't really figure it out. Ahmed Hardy is tremendous, like, so much more talented than Cody Schrader. And he had, like, 10 carries for 140 yards in week 1, and now he gets to go up against a Big 12 front, and the last time we watched an SEC team go up against a Big 12 front, we didn't really talk about it, but Auburn and Baylor, they gashed him. They killed him. And Mizzou might have a better run attack equipped than Auburn does. So interested to see how this one goes. I'm taking Missouri. I give them the points. I don't care. I think Mizzou runs away with this one.
Absolutely. Again,
Yeah.
I mean, you can talk about the quarterback battle that you're going to get. Got an old man over there for Kansas. It feels like he's been in college football for 10,000 years now at this point with Daniels. Again, Bo has looked great. I've been pounding the table for Ben Hardy for the last 4 months now, and absolutely love that guy. And as you said, I mean, just smash the over on whatever his yards is. I don't care if it's 120. Take it.
Listen, when you're a true freshman from the Sun Belt and you are so good that an SEC team is recruiting you to be their full bell cow starter back, you're insane. And that's what happened with him at UL Monroe last year.
Yeah, exactly. So much fun. Mizzou all the way. Also, there's going to be a game in here that you're not going to talk about that I wanted to talk about. So I'm going to be interested to see which one it is. But you take it away.
All right, the final game. Let's go to Friday night. You're thinking, what? We're going James Madison, Louisville. We're going deep cut. All right, we're going to the G5. I want to talk about James Madison specifically because of what happened to Boise State last Thursday, okay? Boise State getting hurt and getting damaged the way that they did. They still have Notre Dame on their schedule. There's no shot that team beats Notre Dame, by the way. So maximum, they're 10-2 in maybe a terrible Mountain West. Boise State is not getting no benefit of the doubt. So this opens the door for all of the G5, especially James Madison, because James Madison plays in the second to worst. Is it ahead? It's probably ahead of the MAC.
Yeah.
In terms of overall talent. But James Madison has low-level P4 talent on their team. They have Matthew Sluka, who was the infamous holdout UNLV quarterback last season. He's pretty solid. And, I mean, they go into Louisville, who is just, in the 2 years Jeff Brom has been there, has been a good football team. He just keeps rinse and repeating these quarterbacks, and now he's doing it with Miller Moss at home. You just believe that he should be able to, figure it out, 12-point favorites. But if you're James Madison, they did this against North Carolina last year. So if they can go in to an ACC house again, it's not a far travel for them. It just opens the door up and maybe slams it of if we take care of business each week, James Madison's going to be in the playoff. So interested in that one, but I don't know. Ben, you had other games.
Yes, I had 2 other games here I want to touch on. Really quickly, we probably talked about Group of 5 more than what any podcast should at this point. Sorry, Group of 5 fans. Again, as you said, Boise's loss, it's going to be hard to even just convince yourself to get into them. UNLV just looked bad. The Fighting Dan Mullins looked awful. I mean, he pulled the trigger quick on Alex Orji. He said, nope, you're out of the game. UNLV
Landry
looked
was
bad.
good too.
Yeah, he was. Boise lost. So then you get into the conversation, well, Boise lost. Who did they lose to? Another Group of 5 team, USF. Yeah, they could be fun, but they're playing Florida and Miami in back-to-back games, which they're obviously not going to win. And that leaves my midshipmen. Go Navy. We know they're going to lose against Notre Dame, but we are on a track to it being JMU versus Navy late in the season for who that Group of 5 team is going to be. And again, I think it's going to be fun periodically to check in on what that Group of 5 spot's going to look like. So we're going to do that over the course of the season. Just a little quick Group of 5 update here. The other 2 games that I wanted to talk about was Baylor. Again, we touched on Baylor. Baylor didn't look too bad. They were just outmatched against Auburn, period.
Their offense was good.
Yes, exactly. I told you guys about the run game. The run game looked great. But SMU, I mean, they're ranked 17. Can they maybe possibly push for a playoff spot again this year with Kevin Jennings? We will see. It's going to be an absolute battle. And then the one that I mentioned in the pigskin, I don't think so either. But the one that I mentioned in the pigskin payout, ASU versus Mississippi State. ASU's favored only by 6.5 points. And I say that because ASU is considered like one of the 2 or 3 top teams there in the Big 12. And they're playing against probably the worst SEC team there is. And the fact that they're only 6.5 point spread between the two really kind of shows you the difference between even conferences. But at the end of the day, as you guys heard when I talked about the pigskin pick'em, take ASU in the 6.5 point spread. Jordan Tyson, Sam Lovett, how could you not? ASU, but it's just going to be a fun little game to sprinkle in there and watch. But there it is, guys. Football's back this week. Football's back. The Eagles play. The Bears plays. Saints play. We're back. It's going to be so much fun. I mean, we waited the entire offseason, as we do each and every year, to get to this point, and the wait is now over. Football's back. Enjoy it. We only get it for like 22 weeks. That sounds bad because it's like half the year, but still, seems so long. Just enjoy it while it's here. Pumped for it to be back.
Yeah, Ben, you've got what, a half an hour in your time zone until it's game day?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, huh? Matt, any closing comments?
No. We went almost 2 hours. You got all of my thoughts. Ryan, I should say, are you prepared to light it up on Friday?
I am so ready to light it up on Friday, dude. Whatever college football. Listen, I know it's a college football podcast, but dude, that is not even a thought right now. Okay, anything going on Friday at 7:00 is nothing to me right now, including that Chiefs and Chargers matchup. There is a wrestler that is I'll just keep it like PG. I was a fan of as a kid. And they might be coming back on Friday, should be coming back on Friday. And if I had a money tree, I'd be there. But hey, Matt, we're going to watch that, dude.
Oh, you know who has a money tree?
Who has a money tree? Who has a money tree?
Kauai.
Hey, but thank you guys for listening to the Pigskin Project this week. We want to thank Uppercuts Grooming, Regional Radio Sports Network, and Spotify for podcasting for helping us grow as a podcast. And until next week, we'll see you guys later.